Hello, everyone. Welcome to our talk today. Chinese APT, a master of exploiting edge devices. This is Charles and my partner Greg. We are from Phi to give you this talk. Okay, first part, our agenda. In the first part, I will quickly go through our findings of exploit trends. After that, my partner Greg will continue the case study of weaponization edge device. And in the third part, he will give you the feature of malware implanted in edge devices. And we will end with mitigation and response suggestions. Okay, the first part, exploit target had changed by Chinese APT actors. Okay, I would like to start from the screenshot of the contagious down block. In case any of you knows it, it means you are old guys like me that has done malware analysis for more than 10 years. This blog was a great resource for me to obtain juicy spear phishing email exploit document used in APT attacks, especially China or North Korea. Okay, in this slide, we try to outline some serious exploit document CVE that has triggered big campaign of attacks in the wild. They belong to most file types you use every day, including Java, PDF, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. So they could be perfectly combined with social engineering tricks to lure target to achieve precise targeted attacks. This exploit document marked a golden age of spear phishing email attacks. However, things started to change. In 2008, Microsoft released their Windows Vista SP1 that equips full memory protection like SLR, DEP, stack cookie, safe SEH, etc. And in 2010, Adobe noticed the severity of exploiting their products, and they decided to introduce sandbox protection to their PDF reader as well as their Flash player. Lastly, the concept of endpoint detection and response product, EDR, emerged. And after all this mitigation and protection become common, actors can no longer achieve a remote code execution exploit by just utilizing a buffer overflow, but instead they have to chain several exploits such as information leak and sandbox escape. And that changed everything. Our research shows a new tendency of exploiting edge device for the past 3 years, especially by Chinese APT actor. Okay, first, by definition, an edge device is an endpoint on network, and it acts as an interface between the data center and the real world. Usually, it collects or communicates lots of information. Also, this feature makes them a great target for APT actor to collect intelligence. Further, after COVID-19, more and more edge devices were opened for corporation entity to serve their work from home requirements. I will start from this slide list of security advisory published by various government entities around the globe, warning about notorious Chinese APT actors. That includes CISA's warning about Volt Typhoon, FBI's indictment of APT-31, Japanese police warning about black tech exploiting Cisco router, or Netherlands government reporting about some Chinese APT exploiting some edge device in an attempt to infiltrate their military entities. So in the following part, we would like to explain and discuss why edge device, they are perfect targets for intruder and the imbalance between the blue team and red team in this conflict. Okay, first, most edge devices, they are closed platform. They usually draw few attention for people's daily work. This nature makes them to have no antivirus or EDR monitoring. Okay, even sometimes there are incidents detected. It usually has no interface for incident response team to investigate. Lastly, there might be some third-party vulnerable component left, but no one noticed. For example, there was a serious Barracuda email security gateway targeted attack last year, and the root cause was proved to be a Perl Excel file parsing library vulnerability. This edge device usually don't equipped with modern exploit mitigations. For example, there was a serious vulnerability in Citrix ADC device, and the fact that it lacks SLR protection makes attackers exploit development and weaponization process very smooth, so they can quickly attack in the wild. Also, edge devices, they are difficult to patch. The first reason will be their position in corporate network makes their service suspension can barely tolerant. Also, their patchwork usually have to be done version by version, and you can imagine, usually you don't want to patch this device unless there is any serious vulnerability discovered. So in that case, you have to shut down your service and spend lots of time to do the patch, so that worsen the patch management headache a lot. Okay, the worst scenario is probably that there are cases that you don't even have a patch to apply. This edge device usually live long that sometimes a vulnerable device is in an end-of-life state. Also, as we stated, the barrier to find and weaponize zero-day is lower in edge device, so that it is very likely there are zero-day exploits circulated in the wild. So all the above-mentioned facts makes attack and defense on edge device a very, very imbalanced conflict, and all factors are unfortunately in attackers' side of favor. In this slide, we try to list some zero-day exploiting this edge device, and I believe you can find lots of open source information about their campaigns, attacks. However, in the last part, the raid one, later my partner Greg will use our findings and discovery in Taiwan to share you some experience how Chinese APT exploit this device and how do they leverage this device.
Thanks, Charles. And I'm Greg. I'm the CTI researcher from the Team T5. I'm going to discuss the case study of the weaponized edge device. The first case, the Chinese actor have abused Zicel VPN to build a botnet in Taiwan this year. Zicel is one of the well-known network device vendor in Taiwan. I would like to introduce the uncategorized group, the Slide 56. Slide 56 is interested in edge device such as Sophos, Zicel, Asus router. After they compromise the edge device, they implant successful demons and use the suspect demon to spread some disinformation related to the Taiwanese government. So back to the vulnerability detail, to achieve the remote code execution require compile two vulnerabilities. The first one is the SSR vulnerability to bypass the authentication, and that it can access some authentication required binary. And another vulnerability is belong to the command injection vulnerability. Also, both of the vulnerability are all patched in the new model, UC 50 or 60. But the second vulnerability is still valuable because the old model, US 20 or 40, that already reached the end of life status. And after compromised edge device, the Chinese actor they install the emerge bar for the forward command and control. Image bar is belong to the password backdoor, and it also belong to the port knocking backdoor. We will talk about port knocking door in the next session. And the Chinese APT has abused the 0 day. It's still a 0 day, and so we cannot reveal the vulnerability detail. Although the vendor has already released the security patch, however, the patch is still incomplete. It's able to let the actor to exploit to get a shell and without authentication, and the actor also can implant the malware. But we find the translator that implement the Microsoft Plus on this service router. Microsoft is belong to a well-known open source lightweight process abused to relay hub to high-layer attack source. And then we try to check the source IP connected to the Microsoft is from the Alibaba cloud hosted in Hong Kong. And they abuse the Microsoft to try to spread some fake news related to Taiwan. And the slide thesis also compromised another device, Surface Firewall. And we find a new malware family equipped in January next year. And they abuse both of the edge device, the Surface Firewall and the service router. They try to spread some of the disinformation before 2024, the Taiwanese presidential Taiwan elections. And we find the malware has lived in the software for 1 year. My favorite translator, the translator has already shared the trailer for the 1 year. This is the example of disinformation. The picture is from the PTT Governing Board. The PTT BBS is one of the Taiwanese famous online forum. Actually, current Taiwan government is considered to the anti-China party and pursuing a pro-American policy. And the disinformation translation is related to the Taiwan government, so civilians the personal information to the United States government. The author pretend he is a cybersecurity engineer in the telecommunication company. And he has the evidence that he pretend he has evidence that our government sold our secrets to the United States. And we check the source IP address. We find that the IP address is from the company's Surface Firewall in Taiwan. And the company's firewall is also implanted by the Satisfy server. The translator that always compromise edge device as a compromised C2 in order to hide the attack source. Take the CSAR in the December as an example. The threat exploit the confusion for initial access to the government servers. And although the confusion is not belong to the edge device, but during the offensive operations, the actor abused the compromised edge device in order to hide the attack source. And we check the IP is from the ASUS router in the Taiwan. And during the analysis, the C2 infrastructure, we find another the edge device, the Hacking Vision DVR, also abused the compromised C2. So we believe the Chinese hacker has already deployed the infrastructure for the compromised edge device. Chinese hacker may compromise all kinds of VPN devices, such as Eventy, C340 in order to lateral movement. Menu pass is known as APT10. They compromise the array network VPN to conduct lateral movement to compromise the intranet to Japan. This CV number is also belong to a 0 day in the wire. The CV number is assigned in the March next year, but the exploit detail has already published from this Chinese blog. It discloses how to pass the license checker over the network, how to jailbreak the VPN device, and how to achieve the code execution from the page also. And we also find a lot of 0 day, and we have already report to the array network. The 0 day can upload the upload file, and the array network has already fixed the 0 day. And the TNT5 also intercept the menu pass proprietary malware. The big source is belong to Windows malware in the intranet. The main purpose for the APT group, they want to steal the sensitive data. Slide 57, as known as the ANK 4841 by the Mendian, is well known to compromise the Barracuda ESG. And they also compromise such a Juniper firewall and another mail gateway in Taiwan. The email security is always deployed in front of email server in order to check the malicious email, and the Barracuda ESG has compromised to steal the mail content, such as mail attachment. The Site 57, they exploit this CV number command chain during the unpacking the attachment in tar format. The actor sending a malicious attachment with the crafted tar file during the unpacking process. They trigger the command injection, and the actor they launch the reverse shell to the actors. And we found the crafted tar file in 2024 against the Pakistan as a 0-day in the wire. And they also has another CV number triggered by the third-party Perl library during the passing the Excel format. In 2024, Slide 57, they also compromised the mail gateway in Taiwan. When check ESR T5's internal number, it belongs to a one-day exploit. The root cause is a CV 232.33.33 by an IR barrier. During the attacker is very similar. During the unpack the crafted IR file, and you drop you lead it to the page traversal and to cause the upload file write. So when the malware unpack the IR file, it may implant the children. And when we find they implant a new malware, I will talk about it later. It's difficult to check the malware from the edge device because most of the edge devices belong to the closed embedded platform, yet you have no shell to access that. The first case is about port knocking backdoor. Port knocking there is very popular features in the compromised edges by the translator. This one is the compromised edge device, and they are impeding to the port knocking backdoor. The port knocking backdoor always listen a low-level socket, such as the UDP or connection socket or the pickup sniffer in service. And the actor tried to send in a MAC string with the encoding C2. And the malware compare the MAC string and the decoder C2. He tried to launch the second stage backdoor from the new C2. Because the C2 is hidden as an assigned during the operation, it's difficult to identify and block the C2. And if the C2 was a filter, the actor can change the other C2 during the operation. We find a non-lock door in the Sophos firewall. The non-lock door, they create a low socket to receive a layer 3 payload, and they check this payload is belong to the UDP UT protocol, and compare this match string and decode the C2. And finally, the non-lock door will launch the Kali short integer to connect the C2 through the new time short variant. Slide 57, they also developed the customized the backdoor C-spy or the C-spatial the Barracuda ESG. And the C-spy decode received the encoded by this registry from a low-level pickup listening sniffer traffic. And the C-spy is a launcher. It's embedded to the normal the Lua script, and during the attached process, and if the C-spy find the matrix file string with such the spatial file name or spatial and with a spatial the postfix, and you will try to launch the next C2 and with a new C2. Because most of the file system of the barcode is encrypted through the two-stage encryptions. The first, the A is in the initial run file system, and the second is Lucas in the hard disk. So the backdoor are also encrypted, it's more challenging to retrieve the malware. The only plain text data is only in the Linux kernel. So when trying to emulate the kernel, you check the locus key and try to dump the file system through the memory. In 2024, we find a new C-spy variant with the i3 shell. We find the i3 shell encrypted the IR file triggered by this CV number. i3 shell supports simple reversal and the file operation. If the traffic is imputed, the backdoors encoding. And after receiving the new matrix string, the new C2 variant integrate i3 as the next stage reversal. More and more examples related to Ponagan shell, the arranged by in the ZCL, the castle tab in the 40K, reptile implanted 40 manager. Ponagan backdoor has become kind of a feature of the Chen or the Chen space for the edge device. Review of a LAN binary attack in the edge device. Review of the ban is make use the legislative system binary to achieve the malicious purpose. Take the sales firewall as an example. They replace the content command line interface banner content with the computer file and in order to leak the administrator credential file. Actor also can upload the malware through the file related CGI and turn off the ZCL provided binary to achieve to turn off the firewall and to achieve the code execution through the binary as this picture is a command injection vulnerabilities and use the command injection binary to achieve the code execution. And most of the web server only log the HTTP query URI and the result of the post content data. So the people in charge of the response, they may think all of the malicious query are normal. The final slide is about our recommendation. How can we mitigate and respond this kind of attack? Most of the edge devices belong to the internet-facing endpoint, but when trying to kind to restrict unneeded access to the internet-facing ports. For example, we have mentioned that the incomplete 0 day of the 7th router. The attack interface is from the web administrator interface. Although it belongs to unpatched 0 day, but when you command line, you can restrict the web administrator interface only in the LAN side instead of the WAN side. But some service must be open, such as the VPN or email security gateway. Applying the page is still the best solution. And we provide some kind of indicator to rank the vulnerability. The first one, the high CVS score should be, means a high risk CPU should patch in high priority. And if the vulnerability has already publicly disclosed, and if the CV already has an exploit PH code from the GitHub, it are also easy to weaponize the exploit code. The third one is exploit in the wild. Lots of the old things provide related to context. For example, the CISA, the no vulnerability category also prevent such information. And the Microsoft Response Center also provide related connection. But how about the 0 day in the wild? It's a difficult problem. No patch available. It's difficult to mitigate this kind of attack. We recommend try to keep the log as complete as possible, and try to keep the access log and the audio out of edge device, because edge device they have limited storage to store the log, and the log may be low tech, and you may miss some critical indicator. Then some experienced actor, they may wipe the log and they try to keep the log of the edge device, make the actor too difficult to modify the log. And we also recommend try to understand the actor, like actor understand your edge device Attack has demonstrated they have the capability to find the 0-day for your edge device, and as also developed custom-built backdoor specify your edge device. And all the material are from this study is from our vulnerability insight reports. We try to help our client to know more about the related vulnerability and know more about the attacker to provide a mitigation and response report. More challenges. Team device still find more and more the edge device are compromised to build a botnet. The edge device are from the different models, such as ASUS TP-Link, and we find they are all implemented positive daemon, listening on the random port, and all traffic are encrypted. Besides, it has a complex access credential. Each compromised device has unique credential. Each one has a different password. This kind of positive and are widespread in our edge device. So Team-T5 is going to identify this kind of compromised router and try to identify the proxy server. Okay, it's end of our presentation. Thanks for your time. I think we can. Do you have any questions?
Sure.
Works. Yeah. On the slide where you have a link between the compromised device and the PTT website,
Yep.
where they posted information related to election. What was your sequence of discovery? Did you first discover the PTT post, and then you looked at the IP address where they posted and you found that it was the edge device? Or did you find first the compromised edge device and then you found the public post?
Okay, yeah, it's a good question. So it was during our presidential election time. So lots of fake news rumors circulated on internet to try to influence our election. So in the beginning, we identified such kind of disinformation message on our BBS. Then, because it's an old platform, so it display the poster source IP directly. From that IP address, we did some profiling, and we identify, oh, it's some edge device and belonging to some specific vendor. And after doing more research, we realized, and we pivot to more related fake message, and we identify some vulnerability and campaigns behind.
So you actually confirmed that that IP address 60 dot something, it's a compromised device, right? You
Yes.
did forensics on it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And what was the initial trigger for thinking that it was a fake news? Just because of the wording that was used in the message?
Good question. Because yeah, as I mentioned, it was during election time. So actually, many think tanks, government entity, we are very sensitive about such kind of post, and we monitor many bot accounts as well. So when we, in the beginning, we see such kind of suspicious message, but after that, we will do cross-check about the account's past history and his activity, his login, source IP address. So in the first moment, we judge, okay, it should be some fake information posted from some bot account.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Hello. Hi.
Hello. Hi.
If the threat actor employed some mechanism to obfuscate the IP address of the compromised edge router, would that have hindered your ability to determine what the scenario was, or how the attack had been implemented, such as a CDN, Cloudflare? Would that be an appropriate mitigation factor for the threat actor?
Yeah, I think the main purpose they leverage such kind of edge device is to hide their source IP address, where are they from, and anti-tracking and attribution. So you can think of we believe many Chinese actors they try to build such kind of botnet. So in case they want to do offensive cyber operation, they can first dial into it, and their traffic would be routed several times and find an exit node and start it to their suspicious operation. So in that case, if we want to trace back, we need to find hub by hub multiple times. That is a very challenging work, and yeah, sometimes it depends on luck to find their final real location.
And maybe you could have a round-robin list of compromised devices as well, so that it significantly increases.
Good suggestion. Yes, we are doing such kind of experiment. We try to list some highly dangerous vendor of edge device and try to profile them. Yes.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll just be helping. Yep.
Okay. I think we are running out of time, so if any of you had any question, feel free to. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So last year, Team T5 presented on Operation Clairvoyance or Tianliyan. So is this related to that, or is this like a completely different set of attacks?
I would say different. In that operation, we mainly talked about APT intrusions. In this case, it's more about APT actor leveraging compromised edge device to spread disinformation. So, different case. But yeah, I know they are all election related. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.